Hard-fought game, another 60-minute game. Thought our guys competed well. Thought they were prepared, had a good week of practice, and these are the games in the National Football League. There's certainly a lot of things we need to do better, but I'm happy for the guys, and Graham made all his kicks. Some big kicks there at the end for us. And DJ led the team down to get some extra points there, which was a huge difference. Thought the defense played well. Started out fast. Wish we could have got more points on the board early on after those 2 turnovers. But all in all, good team win, and get ready for next week.
Coach, obviously not the prettiest, but once again, Daniel responds in the second half with some big plays, especially some third down throws. What did you see from him?
I thought he played a good game. I thought he made great decisions with the football in his hands. He took care of it. He led the team down again to finish off a drive to win the game. So that's 2 good weeks, I'd say, for Daniel. Made the right decision, took care of the ball when there was pressure on him, threw it away if he needed to throw it away, and then, took off on that last naked there to get the first down to, he could have done a lot of different things, and he made the right decision under pressure in a critical situation, and he's taken steps, and I'm happy for him.
You put a lot of trust in him in that situation to make the right decision. Why did you feel like that was the right play call?
Well, I just told Mike throughout the game, it's calling an NFL game it's an up and down thing sometimes. And I think the most important thing to do is stay true to yourself and have confidence in the players. They feel that. We figured that was, not we figured, we talked about it. And Mike recommended that play. It was a naked play. So you got a couple different options. And he made the right one. If not, he would have probably taken a sack just so we kept the clock moving there. But I think it's important to show players that you have faith in them. They work their asses off during the week. They've worked their asses off during camp. They're the ones out there playing on Sunday, and you have to put it in their hands when it counts the most. And that's what Kafka did with Daniel, and Daniel made the right decision. We ended up kneeling on the ball.
You got 5 yards, I guess, on the third down play for the 56-yard field goal. I mean, how long were you going to go with Graham?
It was probably a little bit past the line that we said going into the game by about 1.5 yards. And I just told T-Mac, he was kicking it well. He kicked the other one well. I looked at Graham. He said, and I have look, he's done it a lot in practice. I know he's played a lot in this league. And, again, we'd like to be closer for him. But that's his job as a kicker and as a snapper and as a holder to execute those plays when we need it the most. A lot of times it's under pressure. And the 3 of those guys, along with the field goal protection unit, did a good job.
What do you think of your defense on third downs in particular?
I thought the defense throughout the game played well. We gave up that one big one that squirted out there later, but they tightened back up in the red zone. They tackled well. We didn't get hit over the top of their head. I thought they did a good job. They stuck together. Again, it was a good team win. These games are going to be like this most of the time in this league, and I thought our guys showed grit and toughness and heart.
What can you say about the job Wink's doing with that group? You're down Kayvon, Aziz, you lose Leonard in that game.
Yeah, I think we have really good coaches, Wink being one of them. I think Mike's doing a good job with his unit, T-Mac, all the rest of them. Have a lot of confidence in Wink. I think the players have a lot of confidence. They're playing fast. Give a lot of credit to the coaches on the defensive side, but to the players that are out there executing the assignments. And again, Wink's done this a long time. Wink's not afraid of failure, and that's really what we want for the entire organization, is not to be afraid of failure, not to be afraid of the consequence. If you prepare the right way, you can live with the results. And I'll say that over and over again. And there might be games where you get blown out. But I know the guys prepare the right way. I know the coaches prepare them the right way. I have confidence in the group that we have, that we work with. It's never going to be perfect. But we have a bunch of tough guys, or tough-minded guys, I'd say.
Brian, in your own words, talk about guys working.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about Oshane?
Yeah, I've said this from the beginning. I don't know where he was last year. I just know where he is this year. His mind's on right. He's been a big part of our football team. He's got energy. I think he has talent. I think Wink's getting talent out of him. And he's a confident player. Certainly we got a long way to go, as you saw out there, but our guys fought, and not just X, but all the rest, Ox, should I say Ox, X is X. There's power in preparation, there's power in believing, and there's, I'd say, power in toughness.
Ask for energy from the crowd. What did you think of the reaction in the stadium today?
Thought the fans were great. Just driving over here from the facility and looking at all the tailgates and all the beverages and all the games they were playing, they were pretty rocked up. They had their jerseys on, some old school ones, some new school ones, and they were great on third down. They know when to cheer, and it's certainly helpful to have them out there. And we look forward to to next week.
When you're not scoring a lot of points and making a ton of big plays, how important is it for your team to learn how to find a way to win games like this as far as their development is concerned?
Yeah, well, I'd say whether you score a lot or not, it's important to figure out how to win games. You can win a game a variety of ways. You can also lose it. Again, the object of the game is to have one more point at the end and to give yourself a chance in the fourth quarter right now where we're at. And we're a young team that's still developing. We got a long way to go, but I'd say that, again, we're shuffling guys in and out. We're trying to find the best combinations, but, taking care of the ball and getting it goes a long way, tackling well, and then being able to figure out a way in the fourth quarter when it's close to grind out those yards that you need to put yourself in a chance to win. And these are close games. I anticipate most of our games being close. So there's a lot of work to do. We'll get back to work here tomorrow and get at it again.
Coach. You're still 2-0 as the head coach of the New York Giants. For you, what area do you feel like you're getting most comfortable in now? Two games, 2 wins under your belt.
I don't think you ever get comfortable, whether I was an assistant or a coordinator. This game will humble you really quick. There's one week you can be on top of the mountain, and the next you fall right off. And what I just stress to the players and to the staff is, let's just take it one day at a time. Let's take it for what it's worth. I told them in the locker room, if we wouldn't have won this game, I can live with it because I know what we're doing during the week is the right thing. I think there's a sound plan. I think the players are spending extra time together. I think the coaches work extremely hard of putting plans together. I think we go out there and practice the right way. Not always perfect, but, the steps that you need to take in order to build a consistent program, it takes time. But, those guys, they're a gritty bunch. And, they've been that way since camp when we've put them through, a variety of things. I mean, there's days where I know it would be tough on the defense and just make it really short yards. There's other days tough on the offense, mess with the kicking game a little bit. I think that's just part of it. Having a mental resiliency, a competitive stamina to go out there and play the next play regardless of how the situation is going, which I know is tough for a lot of people to do. But our guys are finding a way just to fight through play by play.
Coach.
No, we'll get more tomorrow.
Coach, after in the first
two more.
In the first quarter,
rock, paper, scissors.
First quarter after your second field goal,
yeah,
it looked like that third down play, the offense wasn't in the right position, clock was going down, and then you seemed like you pulled the offense to the side on there, and the official came over and talked to you. So what the official talked
what I was
about?
just saying is, look, we gotta get in the huddle, we gotta hear the play call, and we gotta line up properly. And that has nothing to do with defense. It has to do with getting in the huddle, hearing the call, and get lined up properly just to give yourself a fighting chance at the start of a play. And I thought that we're a little slow out of the huddle, so I just let those guys know that.
Your special teams today, especially on the opening kickoff, you almost had 2 fumble recoveries, and it really set the tone.
No, I think we're making progress in that area. Still a ways to go, but made some big plays. Also gave up a long return, but our specialists made all their kicks. We're making progress. I think Team Mac's doing a good job with those guys. And again, we're shuffling guys in and out. So really, every area of our team is a work in progress right now.
Last week you danced. Last week you danced.
No. George has a question.
We saw Kadarius.
I was going to come back to
We saw
Jordan. That's
Kadarius
all
play
right.
a lot more today, right?
Yeah.
And then we look at Kenny on the other side.
Yeah, it's
One of
a
your highest
continual
paid players
competition
in the
at receiver. I'll say that. I've said it since when. I'm not being a jerk. I've said it since the middle of camp, right? It hasn't changed. It's going to be a continual competition. Kadarius had opportunities today, and we'll see what it is next week. Maybe it's Slayton, maybe it's more KG. We'll see where we go with that. But I think we're just going to that position. We're going to just keep on rolling guys and play the guys that week we think would give us the best chance, and the other guys got to be ready to go as backups.
How can he handle that? I mean, this is
Right,
a guy who,
like a pro. Yeah, I mean, I told him during the week that we were going to go with Sills. He acted like a pro. I said, be ready to go. Now, does that mean it's going to be that next week? No, because you see what we did from one week to the next. I think we're just evaluating all those guys on a game-by-game basis. I think it takes a lot of mental toughness, too. That's not an easy thing to hear, and I appreciate, them being pros. We'll go out there. We'll practice this week. It's not going to be a play-by-play every day of how they do every practice, but those guys will compete and try to figure out the best way to utilize them for the next game.
Coach, last week you danced. Last week you danced
dancing.
after the game. Did your kids do a film breakdown and critique your dancing?
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Can you describe what you saw on that final run for the first down, and what did it mean to you that the coaching staff put that kind of faith in you to make that play?
Situation. We got on the perimeter there. Want to keep the clock moving with a completion or a run. So, getting out of the pocket on that movement gives you options to do both. I thought they matched Saquon, and I saw a lane to get up and get the first down. So, I thought it was a good call in the situation and just tried to execute it best we could.
They were kind of able to limit Saquon in the first half. I mean, what did you see in the second half, both out of them and out of Saquon, that helped them to get in the groove a little bit?
I think, we made a couple adjustments at halftime, but a lot of it was just staying at it and, wearing them down. I think, the run game will happen like that sometimes where early on in the game they match it and they're playing physical, but I thought we amped it up in the second half and found some creases, and then, once you hit one, it helps the next one. And I thought guys up front did a good job. Saquon did a good job too.
How do you feel about this collection of playmakers, Richie, Daniel, guys are making plays that maybe you wouldn't have expected?
Yeah, I think, guys are stepping up in some big-time situations and making those plays. I think we got guys across the board who bring a lot of different things, a lot of different skill sets, and, we're trying to bring the best out of everybody. So, guys, like you mentioned, Bellinger and Richie did a good job making some big plays for us today.
Coach was talking about how this team is figuring out how to win. You know what I mean? Whether it's field goals, touchdown. What's the biggest takeaway from a game like this?
It was another game that wasn't perfect, especially on offense. I think execution-wise, there's a lot to clean up for us. Slow start in the first half, picked it up a little in the second half, but a lot we can do better. But at the end of the day, we did enough. We made enough plays to win the game, and so that's something to build off of. And we'll celebrate it tonight, but going forward, we're going to look to clean it up and see how we can be better going forward. So. I think it's always more fun to win. You can build some confidence off of that, but certainly a lot we'll work on.
Does it take some pressure off of the offense when you do have a weapon like Gano, who is as consistent as it's been the last 2 years?
Yeah, no doubt. He stepped up for us big, and he's been super consistent for us, in the past few years, and he's a great player, huge asset for us, so big time for him to step up and make that kick.
End of the first half, made a read that the guy drops that ball on the outside against the zone. But how do you shake that off so quickly to have the touchdown drive and kind of get right back into it in the third quarter like you did?
I think that's part of playing the position is being able to refocus and get going. Just part of it. You got to be able to move on and play the next play. I thought we did a good job at halftime. Similar message to stay poised, keep our composure, and do the simple things better. And I thought we did that in the second half, and ultimately enough to win the game.
Daniel, I'm sorry I'm a little late with some of your exes, but could you take us through that last play? And what does it tell you that Calf can and Daboll puts the ball in your hands on a big play like that at the end?
Yeah, I mean, I think situation like that, we get outside the pocket. Obviously, you want to throw a completion, stay in bounds, or run the ball to keep the clock moving. And I thought they matched Saquon in the flat, so saw a lane to run, stepped up and run, and obviously wanted to protect the ball. But I think it was a great call in a situation like that. You want to give yourself options to do both things, and I think that was the idea there. So, yeah, thought it was a good call, and I thought the guys executed well.
I realize you'd rather score a lot of points and win by 2 touchdowns, but when you have to be resilient and opportunistic in figuring out a way to win a game, what do you think that does for the team's development long term?
I think it does a lot. I think, like you said, obviously we want to score a lot of points and execute better, I think, in certain situations, which we'll certainly look to do. But, being able to win these tough, gritty games when everything doesn't go perfect, when everything doesn't go as well as you want it to or as well as you planned, I think is important for us. Shows some mental toughness, some grit, some resilience, and, I think we have that in the locker room. So, I think, hats off to the defense, too. I thought they played great all day. They stepped up and in some big situations. So, on offense, we got to execute better, take a little pressure off of them.
Take 3 more.
Did that throw to Richie on, I think it was 3rd and 9 in the third quarter, that 15-yarder into traffic, did that get you going, that throw?
Yeah, I think, that drive, I thought we got into a good rhythm there. Execution-wise, we were on the ball a little bit, and, I thought we did a good job there, kind of keeping the momentum with us and moving the ball down the field. But Richie had a good feel there for the spot in the zone and made a great catch for us. So big-time conversion by him.
Daniel, you mentioned the ability to kind of refocus after last week's interception, this week in the second half. How has that changed over the course of your career, kind of maybe coming into this season a little bit differently?
Yeah, I mean, I think you learn that. These are long games. They're tough games. Most of these are like today, 3-point game and comes down to the last possession, comes down to 1 score. So, you can't afford to worry about the last play or let that affect, any decision you're going to make going forward. So, I've certainly learned that over my career, and that's something I'm always trying to do better and to focus on. I think it's an important part of playing the position.
When a guy like Kenny, who is a veteran, used to playing, is not a part of a game plan like this, as a quarterback, what do you say to a guy like that to keep him engaged, because you might need him next week? Or do you manage that at all? Do you factor into that at all?
Yeah, I mean, I've got great relationships with all the guys, and certainly Kenny, I've got a lot of trust and faith in him. And he's a hard-working guy. He's a pro. He knows what to do. So he'll be back at it, and he'll be big time for us going forward.
What does it mean to be 2-0?
It feels good to be 2-0. It's not easy to win this league. Obviously, I think it's my first time in 5 years being 2-0. The team played great, all 3 phases. Offense, obviously, we got to execute a little bit better. But at the end of the day, we was able to grind and win.
Did you like the way this team grinded, especially late in the 3rd and then the 4th?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we have in this team. We got a lot of guys that, that have no quit, that's going to fight. Continue to keep that competitive mindset, that competitive spirit. And obviously, like I said, on offense, we got to execute a little better, especially in a field position like that. But at the end of the day, all you want is a win, and we got that.
Saquon, wins are wins, but to grind out 2 like we just did, we saw here, but then also to win them in dramatic fashion in the 4th quarter, how much does that mean?
That's the NFL. You know what I mean? We actually, if you really look at it, especially like my first 2 years, and even the year I tore my knee, a lot of those games were pretty close. We weren't finding to win these games. And that's the difference, and that just starts with the culture and the standard from top to bottom, and just continue to believe and never having that quit mindset, don't hit that panic button, and find a way to get a win.
How significant was it that the offense did not give the ball back to Carolina down the stretch there? That 3rd down scramble, of course, by Daniel was huge.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel made a whole bunch of big plays during this game. At the end of the day, 4-minute situation, Defense did what they had to do. We got to end the game with the ball in our hand. That was just our mindset. We had a great call. DJ made a play, and we were finished again.
Were you supposed to be the target on that throw, that 3rd and 6?
Yeah, for sure. But that's the NFL. It's football. They're gonna make plays too. They did a really good job, and DJ made a play. And sometimes, it's a players' league. That's something that coach keep telling us. It's a players' league. Your players have got to make plays. Your guys have got to be guys. And in that situation, he was.
What did you make of the fans today and how they accepted the challenge?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I feel like we always had great fans, even when we were struggling. So definitely big credit to them for coming out, being loud. I think we had a couple penalties because of them. And for me, being at Penn State, coming from that environment and kind of seeing it to the NFL and seeing the Giants fans show out and helping us get a win means a lot, and hopefully we can keep this thing rocking.
Was it nice for you to give them an opportunity to cheer here at home?
Yeah, I mean, that's all you want. You want to give the fans something to be proud about. And we haven't really done that in the past, but you can't look too far into it. But right now, like I said, it's hard to win this league. You got to be happy with 2-0, but you can't be satisfied, and we got to go back to work, execute a little bit better, learn from the things that, the mistakes that we had, and get ready for Dallas.
What was different in the second half, Saquon? First half was kind of slogging through the mud there.
I mean, it's football. They're going to come out. They did a really good job, especially stopping the run. The week before, they were getting gashed like crazy. Chubb was gashing like crazy. So we knew there was opportunities to be there, but they had a great game plan. But Bobby, Tone, Calf, and all those guys came in, adjusted it, and we didn't panic. We didn't waver. We settled down and got the game going.
You dove for the pylon quite a few times in your career. How do you grade Daniel Bellinger's dive for the pylon?
I didn't even see it. It was Bell? It was Bellinger?
Yeah.
I thought it was Matt. Oh dang! I didn't even see it from my angle. I was. What was the play called? I was faking to the right, and I just kind of was looking. I just heard the crowd going crazy, and I was like, "Oh dang, we got a touchdown!" But I'll go back on film and ask me on Thursday or Friday whenever I talk, and I'll give you a better grade.
What'd you make of the defensive performance?
I mean, they're dogs, man. They're dogs. They've been like that, to be completely honest, for the last couple of years, and just got to keep feeding on them. Not only them, I want to give credit to the special teams. They made a lot of plays out there too for us. We got to do a better job of capitalizing. But like I said, I've been on the other end of this. We've been on the other end of this a lot of times before in the past, and you got to be thankful, because anytime you can win in this league, it's hard to win in this league, but you got to learn from mistakes and continue to get better.
Can you peel back the curtain and say how this locker room feels being at 2-0 compared to your past years?
Obviously, it's different. Culture is different. We come in here, music playing before the game, playing after the game. You got your head coach coming in, rapping Biggie. It's fun. It's fun, and it all starts with winning. When that's what really, breeds fun. You got to come out here and win games, and we got to continue to do that, but we can't get too caught up in the hype. You just got to continue to get the mindset within this locker room, continue to trust the guys, the men and women in our facility, and just keep getting better.
Does he know the lyrics to Juicy?
Nah, he does. Yeah. He does. The dancing can get a little bit better, but when you know all the lyrics, you kind of get just laid back and do you.
Saquon, I think I've heard every coach ever say that contract doesn't matter, draft position doesn't matter. You're going to play based on practice. Does Dabes mean it a little bit more than everybody else? It seems like he plays the guys who he feels earns it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I can't really get too focused on that. For me personally, I got to come in and work every single day and try to do what I can do to get better and help the team win. And that's the only thing I can do. That's the only thing I can focus on is within myself and how to lead, and obviously focus on myself and a better version of myself, help the team. And that's the only thing I can do.
A couple more, guys.
Thanks, Saquon.
You got 2 wins in 2 games, man. The Giants haven't been there for 6 years, and this is now the third year coming in. 2-0. What are the emotions in the locker room after TT?
Like I said, it's exciting. It's hard to win in this league, but we got to when we watch film, treat it like if we were lost. Really be our biggest critics, be hard on ourselves, learn from our mistakes, and see if we can do better. Because these last 2 wins, we didn't come out fast, we didn't start fast, and usually we don't do that in the NFL. It can run away from you. But defense, especially, made a lot of great plays for us, and we got to continue to play, great complementary football.
How proud are you of that last drive? In some ways, is that the best drive of the game? Because you milked the clock entirely?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want, especially as a running back and O-line. when Bobby called to the side, it was like at the end of the day, it's going to be 2 minutes, it's going to be 4 minutes. Defense did what they had to do. It was a 4-minute situation, and we got to end the game with the ball in our hands. And we made enough plays, and Daniel made a big play on that 3rd down, and we were able to get the win and get in victory formation, the best formation in football.
Does that define a toughness of a football team? Does that define the toughness of a football team when they can do that?
Yeah, definitely. But also, I mean, when the thing's not going your way, obviously you're competitive. Everyone's on the sideline trying to get everyone going. But the biggest thing I would say about this team is no panic. No panic at all on this team. Everyone just continue to look at each other, continue to keep that competitive mindset, competitive spirit, and we believe we're going to find a way to win this game. And that's the biggest thing is belief in each other, and we got to continue to have that.
How you feeling personally? 2 games into the season, and this game you had to grind out a good performance. How you feeling about yourself?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, O-line did a really good job. Obviously, in the beginning, first half, like I said, Carolina did a really good job. You could kind of tell their mindset was to stop the run. But that's kind of expected. I feel like that's going to be the mindset for every team we play from here on out, to be honest. But that's a challenge you won, and we just got to do a better job starting off fast. And at the end of the day, we got it going enough. And we were able to get the win. It wasn't pretty, but we was able to get the win.
How about physically?
Physically, body good. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
How did the defense react when Leo went out? I know he's one of your leaders. Do you guys have a conversation on the sideline, try to pump each other up? How do you react and try to come back yet you lose a guy that's that important to your defense?
Yeah, when he first went down, it sucked. We hated to see it, but we knew we had to keep playing. We knew we had to get the job done for him. Knew we had to get the job done for our team and defensively. But it sucks seeing, that's our guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a big key to our defense. He's, a piece that really makes us move and be able to play. So it sucks when you see that happen, but we knew we had to get out there and keep executing.
You had some moving pieces in the secondary, Zay. How did everybody kind of come together? Fabian played, Cordell Flott played.
Yeah.
How did you guys all work together back there?
Just communicating with them. I always try to preach to them just to communicate. They're young guys, so we know they might have some hiccups here and there, but everybody does. So, for us, we just got to make sure we communicate, stay on the same page. And I told Fly even before the game, I told him to just go out there and play, man. Like, he's not by himself. He has 11 of us, out there with him, and he has a whole team behind him. So don't worry about making any mistakes. Just go out there and play, and just know we got his back on everything.
Did you say anything to him after the touchdown?
Yeah. It's always like everybody gonna get scored on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't go. The best corners in the game have gotten scored on. Everybody gets scored on. It happens. It is what it is. You just got to keep playing. As a DB, you got to have that next play mentality. So that's what I told him, and he kept going.
Did you have a pretty good start to it? I'm sorry.
He had a great start. Yeah, he had a great.
Fumble recovery one play.
Yeah, he had a great start. I thought he played really well, but he just got to keep improving, and we'll do a good job. We'll keep helping him get to that point.
That key defensive play there at the end, is that designed for Julian to get the sack? Is that like anybody comes free kind of thing?
Nah, that's anybody. We sending pressure. He was the one to get the job done, and I'm glad he got it done because we got off the field. So, but that's not like a design for anybody. It's just we just trying to create some pressure.
What do you make of Oshane's performance today?
I thought he played excellent. I thought he did a great job of hitting the QB. I didn't get to see all of it just because I had to do my job too. I saw some good hits that he had on the QB on the screen, but I thought he played really well.
How proud are you of the way you guys finished today, both offensively and defensively?
Yeah, I thought we did a great job of finishing. That's what we've been preaching. But I thought we did a great job of just keep going out there, keep making them snap it again. I thought the offense did a really good job of just keep going, no matter the situation, and we got the job.
Is that the difference between being good and maybe not being good?
Yeah.
The way in this league.
Yeah, in this league, that's hard to do. So we just got to keep working and keep executing.
With the struggle offensively, why do you think was the struggle offensively?
We just got to do better on pre-snap. I mean, guys got to know where to go. It was too many times that myself included, I was going the wrong way, and then you look at the clock and we got to hurry up. So that throws off a little bit of the time, and then execution. I mean, we gotta do a better job executing, especially when we get those balls down in the red zone. I mean, those 2 turnovers at the beginning were huge for us, and we got to capitalize on that. So we got to get back in the film room and get this thing figured out, because if you don't in this league, it'll kill you. So
what about the way we made such a big deal about Kadarius, only 7 snaps last week. Comes back, he's very involved today. What does that say about him?
Yeah, I mean, that man is very talented. You know what I mean? You get the ball in his hands, and he can make something happen in the blink of an eye. So, he's excited to be out there. But like I said, we all have, especially in our room, and it starts with me, and we got a lot to work on.
Shep, when you win these close games, how much is it you guys not making the bad plays to beat yourselves and giving you an opportunity to win the game the way you did?
Yeah, I mean, that was huge. We didn't turn the ball over, so that was huge for us, and that's honestly most of the time the difference in the game. When you're on the plus side of the turnover battle, you really give yourself a good chance. I know last week kind of skewed that. They were up on that, but most of the time that's the case.
Shep, you caught the 5-yard pass right before the decisive field goal by Gano from 56. Did you have any idea exactly how much yards you needed on that to give him a chance?
No, it didn't. I just know he got a big leg, so I told him, I was like, man, I appreciate you right there. Like, he's got a big leg, and he got the job done for us, so hats off to my dog.
Sterling, you've seen some lean times around here. What does it mean to be 2-0?
Yeah, man, it's been a while since my rookie season, so it's a blessing, man, and like I said, we have a lot of work to do, and that's the good part about it. I mean, you'd like to clean stuff up with the 2-0 start rather than the other way around, so we're going to get back in the film room and get to work.
Those 2 huge field goals in the fourth quarter over 50 yards, how does it feel helping propel the team to the win?
It feels good. Takes a lot more than just me kicking it. Obviously, it takes the whole unit. The guys getting down there, getting in range. I don't see a whole lot that happens before the fourth down, as I'm just warming up in the net. But I heard there was some good effort to get us in range on both those plays. So I'm just thankful for the opportunities and thankful Coach trusted me to kick into the wind like that.
What is going through your minds in a moment like that? I mean, kicker is such a unique position where, it kind of doesn't get recognized until it's the biggest point in the game. What is, for you, what is kind of going through your mind in that situation?
I just try to think the same thoughts. I've got a couple things that I'll think every week. It could change, but there's 2 things I'll have in my mind just to focus on that'll help give me success. And I don't really get nervous. Actually, in the moment, I kind of don't remember what happens. It's 1.3 seconds, real fast, and you don't even think. Just all the practice and preparation that you put into it just kind of takes over, and you rely on that.
You say you don't get nervous, but do you have a second of pause and you say, okay, it's 56 yards, it's a little bit on the longer range?
I knew it going out there. Dave's looked at me and he kind of just pointed and said, go out. And then he was like, hey, can you make this? And I looked over and said, yeah. And I laughed. And then I got out there. I was like, man, this is a long one. The wind is blowing our way. But yeah, I mean, you just try to hit it the same and make sure you hit it pure. Those guys did a great job. Like I was saying earlier, it takes a lot more. It takes good blocking, good snap, good hold. And, so.
Obviously, last year was last year. Many of the fans didn't have a lot to root for. But just the environment today, what was that like for you coming into this situation?
That was awesome. From the first quarter on, we noticed that. Looked around the sidelines to other guys. I was like, this is awesome seeing this. The fans were waving the towels, bringing the juice, and that's special. So hopefully, fans will keep coming and doing that. And I don't think they realize how much it really means to us as players, having them there and having their support. So, we couldn't play this game without them.
Just in terms of the coaching staff, what does it mean to you that they do have that level of trust in you?
It means a lot. It's a new staff, and I have to build that trust in them. So that's what I've been working on, keeping my head down and working every day and just trying to build that trust. So it's kick by kick, and, we got a new game coming up, and I got to earn that trust every week.
Was that the longest kick you've had in your career, or what was it?
No. I don't think I should talk about that with the Giants fans, but those 50-plus yarders are special. It's everything has to go right on them. It's a lot different than hitting a 30-yarder. Even though that 30-yarder earlier in the game, my heart was pounding because we got the fumble recovery, and I ran down and then realized, hey, we're in field goal range, so got to calm my heart rate. But those 50-yarders are fun, but everything's got to go right. So it's a lot. I guess you could say a lot more fun when you make those.
They said that was a little longer than your line coming off at the warm-ups.
He thought we should have gone shorter.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it was the right line. Yeah, he sent me out there, and the wind felt a little different. I almost told them to hold the snap a little bit because I felt the gust coming, but just said, hey, let's roll with it.
Which way was the gust?
It was this way. It was into our face, so that was I had to get all of it.
Is that a weird parallel being on the out, like having those two game-winning kicks, one for the Giants, one for the Panthers, and
I don't know if I'd call it a game winner. I don't know if at the end, to put us ahead. It's what I dreamed of. You know, it's what I look forward to. Those moments, you know, before I think it was entering the fourth quarter, I looked at the guys and I said, I hope we get this opportunity to put us ahead. So after we made that, I was like, hopefully defense stops them, and you know, we run the clock out, which happened. So it was an exciting win for us.
We'll take one more. I was just going to ask what's more difficult, kicking into the wind or the 63-yarder you had a few years ago?
Both were into the wind. So yeah, that's just part of the game, though. That's just, you know, the wind. That's part of playing in MetLife. So yeah, it's just what you got to deal with and try to hit good balls.
We're at the locker of Oshane Ximines. Talk about that sack by Julian Love. Is that the Wink Martindale effect? Him bringing guys from all different angles where you get some unblocked sacks sometimes?
Yeah, for sure, man. Like I said, this defense, you know, is great. You never know how we're going to come at you. You know, J. Love, he a bad man. You know, like we got drafted together, so I see how he worked. I know what he's capable of. So, you know, it's good to see him get that sack. Hope we get another one next week.
What does it do for you guys? Leonard Williams goes down, and it looked like Wink turned up the heat even more. There was no let's be cautious without him. It was faith in you guys to go after him.
Yeah, you know, Leo, that's our leader. You know, you seen what he's done the last 3 years. Like, you know, his game speaks for itself. And, you know, he's a big part of this defense. You know, when we went down, you know, we just try to pick it up even more. You know, and just fight, because that's all we got to do to win.
Did you sense that Baker was uncomfortable, or even he was restless in that pocket, even when you guys really weren't getting penetration on a lot of those plays?
I mean, yeah, we just try to push the pocket, keep him in there as best as we could. You know, he made some plays. He got out of the pocket a few times, but you know, we try to just keep him in there. You know, keep pressuring him.
How good does it feel for you to continue to show what you can do and increase playing time?
You know, it's big. Like, you know, Z's and K-Bone, you know, them guys, they hurt right now, and they're doing everything they can to get back. And, you know, while they out, I'm going to just do everything I can to help the team win, you know. Yeah.
It felt like on critical plays, you were all over the place with the sack as well as a few batted balls. How did that feel for you to make sure that you were stepping up despite Leonard being out?
Yeah, it felt good, you know. Anytime you can make a play to help the team win, you know, it's always great. You know, that's why we play this game. That's why we love it so much. So, yeah.
You weren't here in 2016, but this is the first time the Giants are 2-0. How's the locker room feeling?
It feels good, man. Really, we just keeping our heads down. We ready to look forward to next week.